1987 scenario, the one where we went down 3 days and then down 22% on Monday, has the most potency.
It was like a war zone after the carnage. A buying panic on Wall Street so severe that hardly anyone could believe it. The Dow Jones average down 22.6% in one day.
Lived through 87, and in the end, I came out okay.
It is actually worse than I thought. Good news, bad news. The good news is you're shorting it, you're killing it. The bad news is you're an investor, you just got a horrific margin call. And not just for the normal guy, we're talking hedge funds. Really think that they anticipated, yeah, we'll probably shave off 10%, 15% in 2 days. They didn't see this coming. So if you thought Thursday was bad, Friday was bad, well, the charts are actually predicting a Black Monday, so you're welcome. The good news is I have a solution for this market. It's the same solution that we had last time. You're probably not going to like it, and I don't know if they're going to do it. Also, in the comments section, because I read every single one of them, tell me your story if you're connected with a hedge fund manager, someone that moves around a lot of money. They're freaking out. And I just had a conversation yesterday with a guy. The anger level, let's just say, is very explosive. And 1 minute they're like, I like this orange guy. Now they're like, I don't like this orange guy. But hey, to all you 1%ers out there, Donald doesn't give a F. And all of these people that are crying, we lost trillions of dollars. No, you didn't. Never had it. It's fugazi. It's like you owning your house. I have equity in my home. Really? Show it to me. Show me your bank account. Show me the digits. Well, I mean, we'd have to sell. Oh, okay. Go ahead and try. First, you're probably going to have to pull your head out of your boo-ha-ha or the sand because you're in complete denial right now, just like the hedge fund managers. But breaking news, hedge funds are facing Lehman-style margin calls due to the market crash triggered by the President Donald Trump's tariff, which affects about 8% of the United States, or the top 1%. So are we going to shed a tear? No. My friends that are calling me, acquaintances that are like, yo, I don't know what to do. I'm like, do you watch my show? Yeah, religiously. Well, I'm like, you have two options. One, do you have a time machine? No? Okay. Option number two, let's solve it. And I know I'm not Vanilla Ice, but if he can solve a problem, I can solve it too. Also, if you are wondering why, the 80s reference, that's hot. He's got the hair, the bling, the teeth. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, 80s were great, except when you compare the charts that are exactly the same as right now. Go back in time to the 80s. Let's follow that, and let's follow exactly the same thing that is happening now. But you see that red line? That's today. You see this red line? That was then. Oh no, that just keeps going. Oh my gosh, 1987. Let the good times roll. Which that song was 1946. 46, not so bad. Also, if you do not have the stomach for this, click the sell button or click the short button. This chart that you are looking at can soon turn into that chart. So we have a long way to go, my friend. But I do need to preface this with these extreme fear levels are a great buying opportunity if you like catching falling knives. Your best bet is to grab the bounce. Your worst bet is to hold that said bounce. Because this is probably what's going to happen, just like it does every single time. .com, subprime, the vid. Yeah, now we got, this is going to be called the tariffs. That's nice. You wanted to know what the next Black Swan event is? It is the tariffs. As you can see, look, we just started. Come on, man. We've only just begun. We have so much room to the downside. Look at this. But we have bounces. We have bounces. We have bounces. Also have a blood indicator. Like my whale and my indicators, it is a rarity. It is like a unicorn. You know, gentlemen, in the dating scene, they don't exist. They may look hot, smell perfect, but when you peel back that onion, you're like, ooh, it's all crazy in there. And then probably 3 days out of the month, you get to learn about how crazy can get. Maybe that's why they called this the blood indicator. And you got two things here. The 3-month Treasury bill, which I talk about all the time. That is actually what the Fed follows. If you want to know when it goes down, follow the 3-month. And you also have the, where is it? Well, you can't see it. It's right here. My head's covering it. It's the 100-week moving average, which I've showed you on this show. You crossed it back here. This was 2000. Come on, kids. 2007, 2008, 2019, 2020, and congratulations. The blood just begun. If you haven't been in this market for 2 years, you're basically at the same level as if you were to have gone all in 2 years ago. You could still be underwater. The S&P 500 just gave up 2 years of gains, basically 2 days. And we are almost back to the levels that when I launched my bear market course on how to make money going down, which now I need to put another flag in the sand because I launched another one. Helping you guys get over that $1 million mark, because once you hit that, it's like you can kind of throw it into neutral. If you are a beginner, and a lot of new people are on this channel that are beginners, swing trading. Give you everything to set you up with AI. And I have about 88 videos that I need to film when I get back from San Jose del Cabo. You also get these two. So if you're like, wait, where's the videos? You get options and futures. So as Trump triggers market meltdown, you have no excuse that you're not taking advantage of this. I'm also running a limited sale of $299, and you get 3 courses plus AI. And I'm putting everything I got all on the line. You are welcome, even though I don't have to. Now let's go over this sweet little thing. What is this? 14% drop, March 11th, 2020. Wednesday, Thursday, 2 days later on Sunday, the Fed. This is why the market rebounded last time. This is when you had a multi-trillion-dollar bailout. Yeah, it's not a bail. It was a bailout. QE, repos, junk bonds, ETFs. It was everything. Let me rewind the scene for you, because people think, oh, it's because the Fed cut rates. Okay, this is what they did. The Fed cut the overnight lending rate. It's really a no. It doesn't matter. It's the rate at which banks can lend to one another. They don't care. They just want to be able to buy the bonds on the cheap. Click subscribe. I'll explain this. I've explained this 100 million times. They just have a balance sheet. And the Fed is just like any bank. They can lend, they can't spend. But they cut overnight to whatever they did. And then they brought it to zero. The market bounced, continued to sell off. They're like, oh my gosh, what do we do? Wasn't until they injected about $10 trillion into the market that now the stock market recovered. Are they going to do that this time? I'm going to go with no. I mean, unless you think Don Don's going to change the color of his skin, I don't think so. But if you were to look at the chart going back, it looks, actually, this doesn't even look like much of a drop, right? That was the vid. Then turning on my indicators, my Bravo 9, that's where I'm like, guys, swing it up. Now, mind you, this chart is on the monthly, so you're not seeing what I saw. This line looked straight down. It wasn't straight down. It had bounces. These bounces look like this, and this was 6% move. They're like, the Fed's going to cut. Okay, no, maybe they're, I don't know. When's this ever going to stop? It stopped right here. This was your injection. And then you have this 200-day moving average, and as a religious swing trader, I've always said this, but my next course, I need you to stop being so religious. That's why I teach you options and futures, so you could take advantage of on the swings down, on the swings up. But coming full circle, comment section, do you think they're going to do this? You think they're going to save the market when it continues to dump? Because it will. Okay, so now with all the indicators that I've been showing you for the last umpteen thousand years, everything's triggered. We're all making money on the way down. Hopefully you are. You still have time. How much lower? Say 20%. But if you're trading options or futures, you're not just making 20%. You could be making 400%. Nike was 239%. Oh, by the way, my options watch list, where I work every single day, every morning. Here, this is what I'm trading in the options market. My bear, this one's going up too. Just like I rose the price from $1 a day. Poof, gone. Too much trabajo for Johnny Bravo. And as you know, I don't have to do this. I am just trying to get you guys over the finish line. Then I can be done, right? Also, please, I love the emails. There's too many. How many bad ones do I get? Of 1,000, maybe one that I can even remember. I love it, but then I'm like, I get to the pool, I'm like, another 100. Do this. Hug yourself. Congratulations. I know it works. I mean, But anyways, for the crybabies out there, the richest 0.1% own 17% stocks. Okay? The richest 1% own 50%. This is so imbalanced, everyone. That's why I come here and I'm like, hey, this is how you do it. Not just buy Nike. It's a good company. Look at the PE ratio. Absolutely not. I would never do that except when I taught that at university, which never worked and everyone lost money. So I'm like, wow, Jeezers, there has to be a better way. The 50% own 0% of stocks. Repeat after me. The stock market is not the economy and it is not you. Okay. Now what you're going to do is take advantage of these dum-dums. If you've clicked subscribe, I'm telling you, you are the top 0.0001% of the world. The knowledge, the secrets, it's almost like secrets. It's like, hey, there's a broken slot machine right there. All you have to do is you hit it. I remember this. It's actually happened to me before. You hit it and money shoots out. Not every time. It's like an 80-20. You're like, oh, it didn't work. Okay, we'll hit it. Oh, now it works. And sometimes it goes cha-ching, cha-ching, and it's real big. And other times it's small. For those of you that are like, oh, maybe I'll trust this weird guy that looks like a cross between if Vanilla Ice and Johnny Bravo had a baby child. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And you're like, wow, I got to email this guy. So yes, Chris, I know, I hear you. And I don't know if you know this, but I think everything's changing. Are you? Hurry up. Even Scott, the words out of his mouth. Why don't we listen in to the winds of change?
I'm not happy with what's going on in the market today, but the distribution of equities across households, the top 10% of Americans own 88% of equities, 88% of the stock market. The next 40% owns 12% of the stock market. The bottom 50 has debt. They have credit card bills. They rent their homes. They have auto loans, and we've got to give them some relief. And I was really struck by two different statistics last year. Summer of 2024, Americans took more European vacations than they had in history. Summer of 2024, more Americans were using food banks than they ever have in history.
Basically, Scott is telling you everything that I've been telling you. Scott Besson is telling you exactly what they're doing. The top 10% of Americans own 88% of the stock market. And there's a change. And I'm just waiting for just all the NPCs to start believing these guys. It'll cost the average American family $5,000 more each year. Oh, really? And it's coming when people are like, oh, I hate Trump, impeach, right? It's just, guys, it has to get bad before it gets good. But if you're smart enough to take advantage of how to click the button, you click short or you click sell and you make money going down. You're like, wait, this is ingenious. Not the people that, I just looked at my portfolio and I've lost half. Looked at the equity in my home. You should have sold then, Brad. And I keep hearing people preach, if you don't own the gold, it's not yours. Or if you don't have your private keys, it's not yours. Okay. Show me the money. Let's take a listen into the propaganda.
This is one of the most disastrous and poorly thought out policies that the Trump administration has done thus far, and that's saying a lot. First, the disaster to American families is dramatic. It's estimated the average family, it'll cost them $5,000 more a year. Second, what it does is it makes everybody just worry about spending money. Businesses like certainty. And when there's no certainty, because Donald Trump has been so erratic, businesses hold back on spending, on training, on hiring people, and it's so poorly done. Do you know, Dana? This policy taxes penguins, but not Putin, because the herd and McDonald Islands are in the tax. All they have is penguins. Yeah. He leaves Putin alone. It's crazy. It's poorly thought out, but most of all, it's a disaster. So one more point. Why is he doing this? To give tax breaks to his billionaire friends. They are all in that billionaire bubble.
There you have it. If you've subscribed to this channel, I've told you how this all turns out. I give you the future. I pull out my crystal balls. I tell you this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen. Make money from it. People are going to get mad. They're like, yeah, Do you know 5,000? We can't afford that. At the end of the day, just put some nice Bose noise-canceling headphones on. Trade the market. Look at the charts. Take advantage of what I'm offering. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and since you've made it this far, I'm going to show you what it's like going behind the scenes of what I see so you can see. What you guys see is that, but if I pull back, this is what I see. And also what you don't see, you're like, oh my gosh, that is such a different view. Why don't you film like outside or like get out there. What are you doing, Johnny Bravo? Here, I'll just show you. This is where I'm currently filming, even though you just see a gigantic wooden wall. So here's mi casa. Here's my friends. My friends downstairs. Here it is. Come hang out. Let's see if I can zoom in. I know Kitty's down there somewhere. Where's Kitty? She's down there.